Hello everybody and welcome to part 7 of our Martini Brabham 1/12 scale Tamiya build. And as you can see in this video, we're going to put these wheels together. In the last video we were doing some decals and I was going to finish those off and put some clear coat on, which I haven't done yet because we're in the morning of the next day, but we'll get to that. In the meantime, here's our wheels. What I've done is I've got rid of that seam mark in the center of the wheels, so they look like they've got a few laps on them now, looking much better. And these need to get put together and then glued, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I painted them. I undercoated them in Mr. Surfacer Black, and then I've done them in the semi-gloss black, which is was it TS 25? I think it is 29. Yeah. So yeah, they've come up really well. So yeah, I'll put these together now, and we've still got to do the writing on these, which I'm a bit nervous about. But yeah. Anyway, so if this is your first time watching this video, don't forget to go to the playlist and watch the unboxing and all the parts right up to where we're at now. Down in the description you'll see links for ways you contribute to the channel. Other than just subscribing for free, you can also join the channel. There's PayPal, there's a buy me an iced coffee options there as well. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and if you got any comments, let me know. Alright, so let's get on with this, and I'll come back with hopefully these put together. Back in a sec. Hey there, back again. Tyres are done, rims are on, they're glued, just leaving them to dry a little bit better, but they're all done, which is great. The car, the two number 7s are on each side, which is good, and I thought I'll put that outside so they'll dry quicker, and I want to get that clear coat on. But then I saw this, so I went over to the next step where you put the wheels on, and sure enough there's another 2 decals to go on either side of the car out there. So there they are there, and yeah, I got to go put those on and then wait for them to dry, which shouldn't take too long before I can clear coat. But after I put them, I'll give it at least an hour. It's about 35, 36 degrees out there Celsius, so it won't take long for things to dry. So I'll put these 2 decals on. What else was there? There was something else. I'm not going to put those wheels on yet. We might put the seat in. I know that's the option there, putting the seat in. The wheels I've got to hold off because I need to do the lettering. But we can move on to the next step, 31, which is the nose cowling. Keep pulling it away, there we go. So I can get all these parts off the sprue, and we can start looking at getting that together. Again, this needs to be painted white, although I'm noticing this here is going to be X1, which looks like a gloss black, and another piece there as well. So we'll see what we need to do with that, just to keep things moving along while we're waiting on parts and decals and paint to dry. Alright, I shall be back in a second. Okay, so here we have all our parts ready for undercoating for step 31, which is the nose cowling. A couple of things to note here. It says here 2 kinds of nose cowlings were prepared for each race, including one with cooling ducts as shown. So you can see by the instructions here, we got these cooling ducts here, and they're all 2mm holes, which is a fair size. Now, I think that's optional to drill them out or not to drill them out. There they are under there, they're already marked, so it's just a matter of putting the holes through there. So I think I will do that. And also I've noticed little areas in under the vent under here is matte black or flat black, XF1, so that'll have to be done with a brush just to touch that up in there. And also there's a decal 18, number 18, there's a little decal that sits on that strip on the end there. So it's something I don't want to forget. Also this part here, which this is the bottom part, so if you imagine that's going to sit on the top. This piece goes across here. I don't know why this piece is off the white sprue, because it has to be sprayed black like the bottom is. But anyway, no problem. So I'll connect that on and spray it black and do the undercoat. And what I'm thinking with the this area is, I haven't trimmed off the pieces off here yet, but that's going to connect, that's going to go in there. There's a slot for it. It's going to prove me wrong now, isn't it? All right, so that's going to sit there. All right, that one's going to sit on that side. So there you can see the general shape of it. So what I'll do is I'll put it all together, glue it all together, and then paint it. These little pieces here sit on the back there. Again, they're like little spoilers or air vents as well. All right, so I'll do all that. Now also notice there is these little pins on the top here. There's 1, 2, I saw some other ones somewhere else on here. No, I'm sure I saw them, but anyway, they are there. It says to take them off. Oh yeah, it's just on the top there. So there's a knife saying to remove them. That's because they're to be replaced, and it doesn't say it here, but with photo etch. See, we got number 13, which all these little you know what I mean, the little place where they connect. I don't know what that's called, but see, there they are, there and there. There's another one in there and there. So they need to be replacing the plastic part. Okay, and obviously put on there before I paint. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, I'll take those off and sand them back and get them looking good. In the meantime, car's out there with the decal number 7 and the other 2 little extra decals we needed to put on, which you can see here on the markings. There's one, you can just see it there, number 6. But this is the Brazilian one, so we've got to keep remembering to look at the German Grand Prix one. Yes, number 6 is still there. Everything else is okay, so we're right. Yeah. The only thing I'm noticing is that this one doesn't show those vents in the front, those 2mm holes, whereas this one doesn't. So this is the one we're doing. But I think both cars would be the same. I'm fairly sure they're just showing one example of it on and one without the front bit on that has them, one that doesn't have them. Yeah. Anyway, I'm putting mine on there. So, all right, I will continue on. We'll be back in a sec. All right, back again. Front is ready to paint, I think, almost. Okay, so the nose cowling, as we call it properly, there's our holes drilled, 2mm holes, no problem, drilled them in there. These little flaps here, they actually are up a little bit, so they're like creating some downforce, so you just have to angle them, get them even on each side. I've glued these 2 sides on to the center, and to make sure they were lined up properly, I put them on the base, so that's not glued down, they're just sitting in the pinholes, so everything's square where it should be. So once they're dry, which I'll give it another 5 minutes, I'll take the black part off, because that's going to be painted black, and then and this will all be painted in one piece as well. I also took those little molded in bolts off, that'll be replaced with photo etch, so that's done. And yeah, that will, if I move that across, that pretty much completes step 31. All right, so yeah, all good. Now I do need to check before I paint about replacing those, and I think they're over here on the decal markings for the German car. And if we look, yes, there we go. So there it is there. 13 and 13, they're all numbered 13. One goes there, one goes there. So I need to put those in place now before I paint. And that's it, other than decals that go on later. All right, I still haven't painted. I've left the decal number 7 on the car. It's still outside. I haven't got around because I've been focusing on this so much. I haven't got around to clear coating, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go clear coat that now, and then I'll come back and put on those little bits of photo etch that go on there. All right, okay, back again with the next update. One quick correction, what I said there. Those little bits of photo etch, they can't go on yet. They go on top of the decal. Okay, so after the decals go down, then I can attach those bits of photo etch. So there you go. It's very important to cross these off as you go, so you won't miss anything, and look ahead to see things like that. Otherwise, that could have been a major problem if I'd have stuck them down and then had to put decal over the top. All right. So that being the case, I'll be able to take this piece off the bottom here, which will come off like this pretty easily. There it is. I'll paint that the black. Well, I'll undercoat both first, do that black and do that the white. And I'm going to go clear coat now. Back in a sec. Okay, back again. So I know I'm jumping around, but it's getting to the point where, well, if I'm doing one body part in primer and white, like I just finished the nose cowling, which is undercoated at the moment. I finally did put the clear coat on the body where the decals are. That's looking really good. I'm just contemplating a second coat later on. But I figured, what the hell, I may as well get all this done as well. So I'm going to take these off the sprues, clean them up, take off these little pins. They're going to be replaced with photo etch. There's one there, and I think there's one on here somewhere too. Maybe not. Oh yes, there are. There's a couple there. And get these undercoated and sprayed up as well. Might as well, then it's all done. Okay. So yeah, I will do that. Okay, we'll be back again, and when we come back, we'll have a look at what that clear coat's looking like on that body that I've done with the decals. Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So what I've done here is the wheels aren't finished yet because I got to paint the lettering, which I'm going to try and do today. I've just painted the front skirt on the car, so I've just painted all of this. Okay, so that's done, and in the white, so that'll take the whole day to dry up properly before I want to touch that and attempt putting decals on it. This piece here is also undercoated. I'll paint that up shortly in the next hour or so, along with the shroud around the cockpit, so they'll get painted up very soon. So what I want to do now is go back actually to here. I think it's time we put that rear wing on, which we could have done earlier, but we didn't because I wanted to get it painted and do the decals on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the rear wing and probably the seat in as well. So there's our wing to go on the back of here, something like that. Okay, we've also got those little pieces on the side, little frames, hold it down, and then of course the seat's going to go in. We're going to put that in as well. All right, so I'll do this bit by bit. We'll come back and we'll take a look and see how it's going. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so there's our rear wing is on. That was quite tricky, especially attaching those two little brackets down on the bottom there. So where the pin goes through into the supports, it actually sticks out the other side, and one of those brackets sort of cups over that and then sits on one of the supports of the oil cooler, and then you got to do on the same on the other side. Quite tricky, but it does go in for a little bit of manipulating. So that's on and glued in place. Yep, I've got a spark plug lead to reattach. That's no problem. The seat went in first go too. In fact, I don't even have to glue that in. It's just a rubber piece that goes down through a hole in the bottom, and once that's in place, well, it's going to stay there, so I'm not even going to glue that in. So there you go, all good. So now I'll move this out of the way and we'll check where we're at with the instructions. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so wheels, I'll cross them off even though we haven't done the lettering, but I'm about to give that a go right now. When that lettering's done and dried, they'll get attached and put on. So I won't cross that off quite yet, even though we've got that on, we've got the seat on. Everything else is right. We've got my little tool for attaching the wheel nuts that we made up earlier. There it is there. So we'll put that where it's not going to go missing. This is all together, put together, painted. It's just drying. We'll need to put decals on that, but we can cross that off because decals are later. And then in step 32 now, these need, well, right now actually I'll go put the white coat, primary coat on top, and then I'll be able to start attaching some of these little extra pieces. The rear view mirrors are what we've got to put on there, and the windscreen itself. So I'll get those off the sprue and ready, and then they just go on. And there's our steering wheel, which is right at the end, but I'll leave that. We're not up to that yet, so I won't touch the steering wheel yet. Okay, all right, I shall be back. Okay, so put the final white coats on all those body panels, so they're all drying now. We'll take a look at them, we'll have a look at them shortly. In the meantime, while they're drying, I'm doing the rear view mirrors here. So there's a couple of pieces to go in here. These are going to be done in black, and I think it's a semi-gloss black. What is X18? Just double check. X18 is, yeah, semi-gloss black. Alright, so I'll do those. It also has these two mirrors, so these little metal parts here that'll reflect. That's for the mirrors on there, so they'll go on. Obviously after I've painted. And then there's a tiny little one in there as well. That's for the center of the steering wheel. But there's a number there as well, a chrome number. I'm not sure what that is, or I can't see anywhere in the instructions for that. So we'll just hold off on that one. We've got our wheel nuts here ready to go, so we just keep them aside. And the photo etch, of course, we've got all those little screws that we sanded off the bodywork that we need to replace with these photo etch ones. Alright, so all good. And here is our windscreen, and this looks like a stand, or these go underneath the car. So I think they're sort of like something for it to sit on, which is really good. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to get these glued on, painted, and then I'll get the mirrors put on top, and then they'll be ready to go on once everything's dry, along with that windscreen. Yeah, excellent. Alright, back again with more progress shortly. Okay, so as promised, there's the body parts all painted up in the white. Come up really nice. Just letting them dry, and yeah, fantastic. So while that's been drying, I've been doing the other bits and pieces. I've just done the steering wheel, which is here, and I don't have like a rubber black, but I do have just the black primer, and that seemed to go on really well. So I'm leaving the outside of the wheel in just the black primer. I've done gloss black on the inside. Then I'll do a couple little bolt heads on the top. I'll do in the aluminium, and then there's one looks like a switch off to the side there. I don't know whether I'll do that for probably the red. I'll probably do that for a red switch on there. Okay, So progressing well. All right, I shall come back with probably the mirrors, getting the mirrors together and fitting them along with the windscreen onto here. But also the inside of that needs to be done black. All right, so I need to really let this dry until tomorrow so I can mask it up and get some black paint on the inside of the cockpit there. Also in here, that's also going to be black. Well, I've decided I'm going to just hand paint that down inside there. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, all right, back soon. Hey, welcome back. So I'm doing the front air dam here. I've attached the bottom on, so that's all glued on there. And I've just done inside those little air vents. They're flat black in there. I've used some of these micro brush applicators to make it easy. Just reach in there and touch them up. There's also a decal that's got to go down in there as well, but we'll get to that later after it's dried. And there's decals on the whole thing we've got to do. So, but that's ready for decals now. So I'll put that aside. I've also done the air intake above the cockpit here where I needed to put the black inside. So I've done that, also using those micro brush applicators with the flat black in there. So it's come up nice and neat. So I'm happy with that. That's also ready now for decals. I've still got the cockpit surround, this one here. The inside of this all needs to be done in black. I haven't decided whether I will mask this up and use the airbrush and then maybe touch up around on the top with that. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, while I'm thinking about that, the rear view mirrors, they're done in the black. I just need to put the two metal glass parts on there, which I'm going to do right now, and then they will be ready to go on the windscreen. It's not clear whether they will fit on the windscreen before it gets placed down on the cockpit or after. I'm thinking maybe after, but we'll see. Okay, so anyway, but I haven't even taken that off the sprue yet, but I will do that. All right, this part is also painted black, and that'll clip in under that rear intake as well. And this actually sits down over the brake calipers, so that works as a cooling vent. The air comes in through here, comes into this little piece down, goes inside this, and then down each side it sits over the disc brakes, throwing the air down onto them. So cool little idea. Anyway, all good. So I'll continue on, and we'll be back when these are done. Okay, back again. Progressing more. There's our steering wheel with the decal on the center. So that's finished now. There's our mirrors in our lights. Our rear view mirrors are done. So they look good. Now I'm just I've glued the windscreen in, so there we go. That's looking good. I've got the Goodyear decal up on the top of it, that's on. I've put this decal in place, that's drying now, and these two little fasteners down on there. I used a wax pencil to help me pick that up and place them in their spot, so that was quite easy. And right now I've got these two little decals, you can just see, there we go, these two little decals, which will go inside those two, there we go, inside those two vents there. You won't even see them really on the black, but anyway, that's where they've got to go, so that's where they're going. So I'll keep going here and placing more decals as I go. I still haven't done the wheels, okay. I'm terrible, aren't I? Keep putting that off. But anyway, I'm going to keep going here. I'll probably put the decal on here as well shortly. and then there's quite a bit to go on this. Yeah, okay, back again in a minute. There you guys, welcome back again. Still progressing on with the decals. As you can see, I've just put that one on there, and it looks really nice, doesn't it? It's gone down well. I'm about to put this one on the other side. I've done the decals that needed on this. I don't know if I showed you that before or not, with the little latches on the side. This decal along here and here, so that's done. And on the front air dam, I've done the decals on here and on each side, there and there. There's quite a lot still to go on there, some bits in here, and all the front needs to be done. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on going, and yeah, see how much further I get, and I'll come back when I've got a little bit further, and we'll see how the progress is. Okay, back again in a sec. Okay everybody, welcome back once again, and good news, all the decals are actually on now. I'm pretty sure I've crossed off everything on the list here, including all the little pins, although there are two little locking tabs, a couple left on the sprue there that I'll go back through and find where they go. Other than that, that's all it. All I got to do now is clear coat. So I got to leave these for a few hours now, let them all dry properly. Then I'll do my clear coat on this, That's already been clear coated along with that. And this part here will do. I'm not sure what I'll do about this, because I don't want to get clear coat on that windscreen, because that could fog it up. So I'm gonna get going with all of that. I have still not done the tires. Okay, I've got to do that, so I'll get that done. So all this you'll see in the next video, which will be part 8 it'll be, and it should be the final part too, so we'll have it finished in the next stage of this build. Alright, well, thank you all for watching once again. Don't forget to subscribe, it's free to subscribe. You can join there. We've got over 10 members who have joined the group, joined the channel now, so that's fantastic. And also give us a thumbs up if you like to, give us some comments down below. If you've got any tips and suggestions or any thoughts, just let us know. And don't forget to catch me on the live stream on the weekend. You can have a look and see when that's on. And I'll see you all in the next video. Okay, the final one. All right, bye for now. Thanks. Cheers all.